everyone, I'm Corbett. Here in Queens, in New York, and we are in the middle of a blizzard in the end of October. So because of the fall weather, and because of a few things that I'll talk about a little bit later, I decided that today was a good day for canning. This is Marie's final farewell, so I've been thinking a lot lately about Grandma and the time that I've spent with her and the most memorable times that I've spent with her, and I realized that most of those times were in a kitchen. And I really loved being with her in a kitchen when I was a kid, and then when I was a teenager, and then when I was in my 20s. And I have a lot of really good memories of her in kitchens, and I always had this feeling when I was a kid that she just spent all of her time in the kitchen. She was just this like domestic goddess, and that was what she did. And then when I was in my 20s, I wanted to be able to sort of recapture some of those things. So I asked her, I think when I was about 19, 20, 21, something around there, for some of the recipes that I really liked of hers when I was a kid. And she gave them to me, and they were surprisingly less complicated than what I had always assumed when I was a child. I just figured that she spent 8 or 9 hours a day in the kitchen, and just that was her life. But it wasn't her life. It was just something that she did for all of us, like for her kids and for her grandkids. She would put together these things, and some of them were amazing and that I've come to really enjoy making. So I thought that for this, for her memorial service, that I would try to teach everyone how to make one really, really simple and really yummy thing that she used to make all of us when we were kids. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you how to make her pickled beets, which I know I loved when I was a kid, and I know my dad really loved when he was a kid and when he was a grown-up, and probably still does. So I'm going to walk you through making Marie's pickled beets. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah. Select small young beets. She doesn't say how many. I ask her how many. She says the number that you have. So, of course, she's assuming that I have a garden where I grow my own beets, but I do not. I typically tend to use like 2 pounds, but do what you want. So select small young beets, cook until tender. That takes about half an hour.
Yeah.
That was about what it took us, half an hour. Cook until tender, dip into cold water, peel off skin. So you scrub them until they're clean, and then you cook them, boil them until they're nice and soft, and you can stick a fork in them and they're nice and soft, and then you plunge them into cold water, and usually the cold water makes it so that you can sort of rub the skins off of all of them. Like, we just put a big water bath in the sink, and then we like rub the skins off, and turns our cuticles nice and fuchsia, which is extra lovely. Dip into cold water, peel off skins, make the following syrup. 3 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, 4 cups strong cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of cloves, 2 teaspoons of allspice, 2 thinly sliced lemons, and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. That's it. So at some point in time in this process, you're going to want to sterilize some jars for the amount of this recipe. 4 that are about this size, that's half pint?
Yeah, half pint, I think. 4
half-pint jars are enough. So you want to sterilize these, so you just make a water bath of enough water to cover 4 of these jars, and you just boil them for about 10 minutes. So those are Grandma's pickled beets. So we lost Marie almost 2 months ago, and I guess the whole point of a memorial instead of a funeral is to celebrate the memories that we have of somebody rather than to spirit them away. And I feel that this thing that she gave me of taking the things that you grow, taking the things out of your garden, taking the things that you have at a particular point in time, and pickling them or putting them in jars or whatever to preserve them in some way is somehow analogous to that. That I want to take all of these memories that I have of her and be able to put them away somehow and preserve them. And so call it what you will, but now we have pickled beets, and that somehow is meaningful to me, at least. And that's what I want to try to give everyone, both this thing that she gave me and also to be able to say, take what you remember from her and figure out some way to preserve that. And, okay, so it's late here, so good night from New York, and good day to all of you back in Seattle, Issaquah, wherever you are, and good night, Grandma.